Hey everybody, welcome to another Sunday night chat. Sorry it took a couple of minutes there. We were discussing a few things and getting all set up. Bugs worked out and all that good stuff. No, Tom, I had to check it out. I'm sorry, I worked this weekend, so I've got to catch up on videos. Anyway, got some good guys here on the panel. We'll start with what the fuck, SoCal? You like to do intro?
Oh, let me come around. Oh, this is stupid. I'm trying to do two things at once here. Go ahead, pass it on.
Okay, I'll start with Blue. I let Blue do his normal first to go intro.
Now you start changing shit up and people just lose their damn mind. Anyway, I've got nothing really going on. Thanks for the invite as always. Got looks like 26, 27 out there in the chat room, which we'll pick up here shortly, I'm sure. Thanks for the invite, but I've really got nothing going on. I guess I have to pick up the phone now.
Okay, Rich, would you like to do an intro, man?
This is Rich, and I'm here. Just put out a couple videos today. I'm kind of working with others on YouTube, starting up the anti-Antifa movement, Resist. It's pretty much all I've got for now.
All right, and I just watched that video a few minutes ago. Did you mean to put Antifa?
I did.
Okay.
I actually
I had
did.
a feeling. Knowing you, I had a feeling that you did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Just kind of heads up in case you didn't.
Yeah, I was just trying to make it look as stupid as I possibly could. I'm sure I could have thought it through. I didn't think it out at all. I just stood there and said, I'm going to make a stupid video and did it. But it was as stupid as I could make it at the time.
There's a lot of spoof videos out there, but the ones that I know are real. Well, as far as we know, they're real. They're so fucking stupid. I wonder if they're not spoofing. But At the same time, I've seen the protests and the rallies. I'm pretty sure that's a real Antifa. You know, and they want to call it Antifa, but I'm not going to do that. It's Antifa. They're anti-fascist. If they want to be called Antifa, that just shows their stupidity. Maybe we should call it that, because they don't even know what the fucking acronym, how to pronounce it. If you're anti something, you don't call it what is that? I can't even say it now. Antifa or what? Fuck, I don't know.
I don't even know how you say it, really, to be honest.
It's Antifa is what anti-fascist is what they claim to be,
right?
But they want to call it Antifa. Well, if you're anti something, you're not Antifa. What? I don't know. Never mind. Move on.
It's a
funny video, Rich. You ready, SoCal?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to get the now some friggin' P-51 decides to fly like 3,000 feet to my house. Planes. Okay. Hi, I'm here. Another week of procrastination and finding things to do other than make videos, but I'm going to make one eventually. Thanks for having me on, man. How's it going, everybody in the chat room?
Thanks for being on. I do appreciate it. I really do. Well, just go ahead and get this out of the way. I changed my scenery back here just because of the removing of Confederate memorials. Not that we have to talk about this. That was just why I done that. And I mean, I've heard of renaming streets. In my local Greenville County, we have a high school, Wade Hampton High School. It's always been Wade Hampton High School. When it opened, it was Wade Hampton High School, and it is located on Wade Hampton Boulevard, but they are contemplating changing the name. Or there's people wanting the name changed, you know, because he was a Confederate general or whatever. So anyway, that's why I put that up there, in case anybody was wondering.
So what groups are the heads of these assholes that are trying to erase American history?
Just
What
these
group is it?
libtards. You know, the people that need safe spaces and want to cry hate speech, microaggressions. We can't even acknowledge there was a civil war. But I mean, just you know, you can't say ladies and gentlemen because there's people that don't identify with lady or gentleman. You know, they're in between. I don't know what the hell they call themselves. You know, I mean, and everybody knows I have no problem with transgenders, and I've been on Rosie's chats and discussed things like this, and most of believe it or not, there is a lot of damn transgenders that are conservative, you know, or conservative leaning, you know. I mean, there's some things that they kind of want and agree with or whatever, but you know, it's just the movement has gone so far and so deep. We didn't realize how bad it was until they lost this election. So this last 8 years, it's been building up, and they kind of been getting their way. And then all of a sudden, when they didn't get their way, they just went batshit fucking crazy. You know, it's like as long as they was getting their way and just chipping away, you know, I mean, there was enough stuff going on, Common Core, blah, 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 you know, unisex bathrooms and blah, 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 you know, things that we were kind of upset with some things, but it was like, okay, whatever, you know, to a point, you know. I don't mind unisex bathrooms, but, you know, you don't make them all that way. I kind of say if you're going to have the unisex bathroom, you know, like where I work at, up front, and in the main area, there's a men's restroom, there's a women's restroom. Office area, there's a men's restroom, a women's restroom. Now, this ain't a public place, but you go out back where we're out there working, there's a bathroom back there. It's got one commode. You know, anybody can use it. You go in, you lock the door, you know. I don't care who, woman, man, whatever, it don't matter. It's right there it is. That's a unisex bathroom. It ain't have a damn thing to do with transgenders or anything else. It's the only bathroom there. So it's a unisex. But anyway.
I don't understand why more people aren't. I mean, there's a lot of people upset that they're taking these monuments, they're renaming high schools, they're doing this and that. But is there, I mean, are there court orders in place that are getting rid of these things? I mean, or is it just somebody says, hey, let's get rid of it, there's no resistance, and they do?
They can't find a purpose in the Constitution. Everything goes back to the Constitution, as far as I can tell, when they're kind of trying to figure out whether or not to keep like the Confederate flag flying or the 10 Commandments outside of a courthouse or whatnot. There's nothing in the Constitution that honestly protects that. Everything in the Constitution protects its removal, it seems like. At least that's been the decisions in place, at least by the local and state courts, it seems like. Anyway.
Yeah, because we just had, and if you guys watch Fox News, and this is going to narrow down my location a little bit, but it's not the area that I'm actually from. It was either last week or the week before. The atheist movement had a shit fit, and they removed a bench. It was called the Tyrant's Bench, out of Oil City, Pennsylvania, and basically they threatened a lawsuit against the city because on this Tyrant's Bench, it was in a memorial park that was owned by the city, and on it said something, those not ruled by God shall be ruled by tyrants, or something like that. And because the word God was in there, they started an absolute shit fit, and the city was going to fight. But then once they looked at how much money it was going to cost them, they're like, no, we're not fighting that. and so they ended up getting rid of the bench. But I don't understand their reasoning, because one of the spokespeople for the atheist groups was on what was the one of the guy, it was a news broadcast from Fox, one of their reporters, and they're like, look, we just wanted them to remove the park bench because not everybody believes in God. So we offered to, once they removed it, we were going to donate another bench that had nothing on it, but yet donated by the Atheists of America or something like that. And the freaking reporter went nuts on this lady. He's like, well, wait a minute. You're taking a bench out because it has the word God in it, but yet you're going to donate a bench that has atheists in it. So you're shoving atheism down the throats of the people that may believe in God. And that was a damn good interview. I'll see if I can find that, and I'll post it on the external if anybody wants to watch it later. It's like a 6-minute interview, but man, this guy schools this girl.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was Tucker. Is it Carson or Carlson?
Carlson.
Yep. Yeah, I seen it.
That's who it was.
Yeah, it's like we're in Bizarro world or something. I don't get it. It's to me, it's no different than like I remember back, years ago, they would burn like rock albums and stuff. I remember watching like, things where they burnt like all kinds of Beatles albums, and then they were burnt, and that was kind of from the other side. And I don't know, I kind of relate it. What's the difference between them removing all this stuff and ISIS like tearing up all those religious artifacts? It's really the same thing. I mean, a different topic, but it's historical stuff. It's just bizarre to me.
No, absolutely. And everybody admit the Civil War is so misrepresented anyway. I mean, I'm not saying slavery was good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but the whole thing, the spin on it, that that represents. Here you go. If we want to take it that far, that does not represent slavery. That was a naval battle flag. That wasn't even the fucking Confederate flag. If they really want to bitch, cry, whine, and pitch tantrums over a flag that slavery was under, the flag that slavery flew under, it was the American fucking flag. Am I wrong?
Oh, that's right.
It was 5 states. There were 5 states in the Union that had slaves before, during, and after the Civil War. They had slaves in the North after there were no slaves in the South. So don't tell me it was about fucking slavery. That's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not saying slavery was good. It was going to phase out anyway. It's a bad thing. Slavery goes on today in the world. There is slavery today, but nobody saying nothing about that. It's overseas, of course, but well, I ain't gonna split hairs and go so. But anyway, but it's just ridiculous. But these, like I said, these libtards and social justice warriors, they're so ignorant of history. And here they are tearing down history when they're ignorant of it already, and there's a little bit of it in their face. Well, now they want to take that little bit of history, take it away where they don't even have to see it, and they're not looking at history. They don't know history, and as everybody knows, those that don't know history, it'll repeat itself. This is how stupid they are. And I'm not talking about race. I'm just talking about young, very uneducated, naive people. Have y'all seen the story where Harvard students, the black Harvard students, demanded a black graduation ceremony?
Yeah, and I think they had the first one or something like just recently.
Yeah. So within a generation, when like Martin Luther King, all these leaders fought to desegregate America, now they're so ignorant of the fucking past, they want segregation now. Mm-hmm. They're begged for it. They demanded that they want to be segregated. Just the irony, the stupidity, you just can't make this shit up. That happened. So, I don't know. We don't have to turn this into a race.
Oh no. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. It's been a while since we've actually got on a couple topics and just hammered at it for a while. So this is good stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't get these young black students that wanted to be segregated, yet want to be equal, all the things that they want, and then they want to be segregated. And the things that they're fighting against was, against racism. And then they turn around and turn it in. They want to be racist, like, oh no, the whites got to have their own. We got to have our own. It's like, what the fuck?
Al Sharpton and all the rest of the race baiters have been pumping this for 20 years, man. This isn't shocking. I'm kind of removed from it. I mean, in California, in Southern California, everybody's people, and it's just another person in traffic. So I don't really see a lot of it that you're talking about, but yeah, I don't know. It's stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, the other, as far as you see stuff blasted on the news and you see the news stories and all that, and of course, it's usually in really liberal cities, big cities and stuff like that. So it's not the consensus of America. It's just these small little pockets, like I said, Harvard, right. I mean, that's not your average college. It's not in your average neighborhood or whatever. But of course, colleges in general are very liberal and teach these things, this extreme leftism. And you can be as left as you want, but then when you start stomping on other people's rights, and they don't get that, just like the Antifa, they don't get that, pushing people, throwing rocks at them, screaming over a speech they're trying to make, that they're doing exactly what they claim to be against. Suppressing speech, suppressing different ideas and all that. They're doing the exact, they claim they're anti-fascist, but they're actually fascist. Mm-hmm. It's just, they're so fucking ignorant that they got everything backwards. What was up is down and blah, blah, blah. And they don't see it. They're so blind to it.
And somehow in their mind, a different opinion is justification to like attack. It's like, well, if you feel something different or think something different, you've literally attacked me, so I can go at you. It's bizarre as well how that mindset is. And I think a lot of that's just because they're not really clamping down on, like even like that Antifa stuff or whatever. I don't think they're supposed to be wearing masks or whatever, right? Shouldn't they like shut something down like that? Is that something? Can people cover their faces? Is there any legality to that? Or
yeah, there's nothing. You can do whatever you want.
Well, it depends.
And it depends on where you do it, because if let's say there's a local ordinance in place that says that if you want to hold a demonstration, a protest, whatever, then you can hold it. However, you have to follow these rules. They can enforce that, which I think is what a lot that we're seeing, where you have the line of cops and then these anti-fa people are trying to go in with their masks on, and the cops are stopping them saying, look, you can go into the rally, the mask comes off, or you don't go in. That's all there is to it. And I'm thinking that comes down to a local ordinance. But what we're going to see happen is, I'm just kind of calling this one out for the future, is that somehow that's going to spark a lawsuit. It's going to end up in the federal courts, and Antifa is going to be a movement, or it's going to be deemed a religion or something like that, to where they're going to have the right to wear the masks just like the females wear the head guards and stuff. You know, I mean, I can see that coming. It's only going to take one attorney that's funded to make it happen, and it will happen. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I wanted to kind of make a comment. Frank I out in the external chat, while we were talking about the colleges with the black kids that wanted an all black graduation, made the comment basically something to the point. Yeah, can you imagine if a group of white kids wanted to have a white only graduation and the college okayed that? Can you imagine the ramifications that would have? How many lawsuits that would be?
Well, yeah, because they've already got their white privilege, so every day is their graduation. It's their celebration. You know, yeah, everybody knows that. It's the white privilege.
Mm-hmm. It's just
kidding with that, but that's how they look at it. Like, and I hate to even touch this subject because I'm liable to say something stupid, but it just seems like if you can't really address it because it's like, oh, well, that's because you're white or whatever, and you've already got this, you've had it for so many years, and so it's not an argument, which is kind of fits back into like what TR was saying, where they can just do whatever they want anyway, and then when we try to do that, or if we do something, we're actually the ones being discriminated against. And I'm going to stop saying anything about this because I think my words would just come out screwed up where I sound like I'm not at all racist.
It's not a racist thing. I mean, it is a racist thing because, and I'll come out and say it, the blacks are being racist against whites, and it's allowed to happen. There's no ramifications. There's no ACLU coming down with Jesse Jackson or whoever the hell would be the representative for the white people. And it's technically it's reverse racism. That's the best word I can come up with.
Well, it's not even reverse racism. There's no difference against, black people against white people, vice versa. It's still racism. I think the majority of the issues that stem from everything that we're talking about, well, at least not Antifa, but the Black Lives Matter movement and whatever, they want payback. And when I say they, I guess that's a stereotypical comment, and I don't really mean it that way, but they were enslaved for I don't know how many hundreds or not thousands of years, shipped all over the globe to do other people's work for them, and now they want payback, and they feel almost entitled, I guess, for lack of a better word. I'm speculating, honestly. Like they're entitled to some kind of retribution or something for something that happened and ended, 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I have absolutely nothing against any race, religion, sexual orientation, anything like that. But whenever, and it's just like we always come back to the same key point. Whenever it's not their rights, it's whenever they're pushing their agenda to interfere with my right, that's whenever we have a problem. And but it's being let go, and we've seen it being let go with the riots in Baltimore, the riots in Ferguson, the riots. I mean, holy Christ, it's allowed to happen with very little punishment.
Yeah, it's like the cities, the municipal leaders are just going full vagina. They're like, we don't want any problem. Go ahead and, rape, pillage, and riot. When you guys get it off your chest, maybe we can talk, but we don't want to interrupt you. Just go ahead. It's been that way. It seems like it's getting worse and worse and worse. And the more violent and destructive they become, it's not necessarily proving a point. It's just wrecking more shit. But right. We're allowing it to happen. I don't know.
And then
it's not a solution, obviously.
is it really getting worse and worse, or is it just that's just being shoved down our throats to try to keep us distracted while they're moving on doing all the corrupt shit that they're doing continuously, and so they can keep us off track and look at this riot over here and this and that. But I mean, is it really going on more than it ever has? I don't know.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I would almost have to say that, I mean, how long have we had the internet? The internet started in what, mid-90s? I would say by, the first 5 years of 2000, things were pretty well streamlined. By 2010, you had MySpace, you had, I think, the beginning parts of Facebook. I don't think Twitter was quite out yet. It might have been. But, I mean, we're definitely getting fed the news faster. I mean, it's faster. Here it comes nonstop. But I really think that it's exploded the riot type situations. I don't want to call it exploded. I guess it's more like it happens in a couple cities, and that's all you hear of for the next week. I don't know if that's an explosion, but there's definitely an upswing in what's going on. I don't think it's that we're just hearing it more. I think we're hearing it more because it's happening not all the time, but on a more regular basis. Because I don't know, other than the LA riots, and I'm sure there's been a couple other ones, but how many times have we had these riots? And let's just say since 2010. In 2010, how many riots were there? In 2011, 2012, 2013, the whole way up through? How many each year? I think we would definitely see an upswing since 2014, 2015. I think that was kind of where the ball started coming up, and there was an upswing in them.
Yeah, I think Dirt Road Gun Show said out there, all news nowadays is clickbait, tabloids more than news. And I definitely agree with that. And I think that this exact topic we're talking about, it's much more likely to get a click to hit something on one of those topics, to talk about an act of violence or a riot or whatnot. And I think there may be a lot to be said about that.
Oh, it's definitely all about the money. I mean, that's the news stations are trying to pull in news stories for sponsors for money. I mean, that's definitely what it's all about. But for now, until I actually look into it, I think I'll stay on my ground on the. We've had an upswing in riot type behavior pretty much across the country within the last 2 to 3 years.
I mean, it seems like it, but I don't know that I buy totally into it, because I don't know how much is, because, all of us here are looking into a lot of social media and stuff. I think as somebody, it's maybe like the generation before mine that's not so much into social media, and they're living out on farms out in rural areas around where I live. These people aren't hearing most of any of this stuff. Even if they're just watching like the, regular network news, they're still not getting it like we are, and they're not seeing all these different episodes. So I don't know. I mean, how much of that is fake news? Maybe it's all, maybe 3/4 of it's fake. I mean, you look at a lot of stuff, it's regenerated. I mean, that frustrates the crap out of me. I'll click on something and then it's like, oh, I saw that like 4 years ago. And that stuff like that keeps getting passed around as well.
Yeah, mainstream media, they're in huge competition. It's a money game. I mean, let's face it, they got to sell as many commercials as they can. And the key word is sensationalized. What can they do to make a non-event something that's fascinating and amazing to watch, even though it's just another a car chase or somebody getting shot by the police or whatever, you know.
What was that? The Legend of Ron Burgundy, the second one, where when they went to the 24-hour news channel. Nobody here's probably seen that movie.
Yeah, that's where they started the whole 24-hour news thing. It was like a spoof on it because he was covering nothing, and got like the whole America was all into it, and it was nothing going on. But at the end of the chase, it turned out, whatever. I don't forget what it was, but it was like high-speed chase. It's bullshit.
Yeah. And they just keep doing. I mean, that was the start of the worldwide 24-hour news, but it was hilarious. Like their little spoof on it, because it was, they kept like they do today. They repeat everything every 3 minutes, and all of a sudden, there's 59 people dead. And it's like, we have reports in that the 59 people dead was not accurate. It was, one person had their foot ran over or something like that. But then they'd make something else outrageous up throughout the news broadcast. And it's just like, for a movie, it was kind of, dead nuts on actually what happens.
Sorry, I'm doing some damage control. A little preoccupied. Anyway, I'm waiting on the guy out there, Happy, accusing me of flip-flopping, saying something about me hanging my head. I'm texting some fucking body. That's what I'm doing. I'm not hanging my head. What the fuck were you talking about? Bring it. What the fuck? I mean, come on. You said I had banned you one time before. Hell, I can do it fucking again.
I completely missed all that. And I've been trying to watch most of the external, but it's going damn fast.
Yeah, we got 66 viewers, so we're doing pretty good.
So, not to change this delightful subject, terribly uplifting and all, but I saw probably 10 minutes ago fly by in the chat, somebody asked me, or asked you to ask me about the Oroville Dam, which had some issues back in, I guess it was a couple months ago at this point, during the big rainstorm, the drenching of California. And I haven't actually been paying attention. Last I saw, they were going to be draining Oroville, not entirely, but below the level of the dam, so they can make repairs to the spillway and a bunch of other stuff, which is ironic because that's like billions of gallons of water. So we waited. This is irony for your ass. This is California. So we waited 10 years to come out of this drought. And Oroville Dam is actually a major reservoir. Most of that water gets shipped to Southern California, so we can drink and water our lawns and whatnot. And so they're going to drain the friggin' dam. So Southern California, after a record rain season, is still in drought.
You said that you haven't really been paying attention to it, but is there any projected time on once they get it drained down on how long it's going to take to make the repairs, or haven't you?
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't really been paying too close attention to it. The Sierras, everybody's heard of Mammoth Mountain, right? Maybe. So Mammoth Mountain, in a 2-week period during the majority of the snowing that was going on in February, got 22 feet of snow in 2 weeks. So there's tons of accumulation, and a lot of that water also, like Mammoth's south of that, but the northern Sierra in California is the thing that's filling that reservoir. So I'm not really sweating it. There's so much snow. I mean, most of the local mountains where I live, they're pretty much all the snow's melted by now. You can still see a little cap on Mountain Baldy where there's a little snow, but it's all gone. But yeah, I stopped following the story when, you know, pretty much all the news agencies stopped following it because it ceased to be fascinating. The sensationalism went away, and we moved on. Now we're talking about James Comey.
So I want to understand this clearly. So California is all right now, and the lakes are not still like way below levels.
No, they're by no stretch. Or, you know, I can think of a dozen lakes that are still like they look like mud puddles as opposed to actual lakes. But as far as the drinking and irrigation, you know, the majority of that, which is in the Central Valley of California, far from here. I'm down south. Those guys are doing great because the Sierra Nevada that kind of runs up the center of California and kind of borders Nevada, those guys got hammered with tons of rain and tons of snow, and that'll last years. But anything south of like Santa Barbara area and south, we didn't really get much of that rain. We only got, I think, maybe a foot of rain over between like November and March, which is nothing. But it's a lot more than we've gotten literally in like 5 years combined. So
all right. Well, maybe it'll get back to normal. Y'all can have some more. Of course, then you have like all kinds of mudslides and crap every time y'all get rain, pretty much, don't you?
I think everything that's going to slide already has. Maybe Gwyneth's house will fall off the cliff into the fucking into the Pacific one day, but hell, I don't know.
So y'all can water your grass and stuff now, or?
Well, the funny thing is that a friend of mine, I can't remember who it was, I think it was Papa's Place, you know, Les, was asking me, so are they going to lower the prices of water now? I'm just thinking, are you serious? Has there ever been a time where any company, any municipality that provides a life source like water or gas or electricity, where they come into a place where they have to start rationing it and charging more for it? When do they ever lower their prices? So, yeah,
I get that. It's like me. I opened up my Patreon account for YouTube, and you know the money started rolling in, and then AdSense came back a little bit, but I'm not closing down my Patreon account. So, you know, it just makes sense, right?
They don't have one now, but I'm going to start one. I think I'm going to be like Pop, you know, Pop's Quest is at the top of the Patron thing. And he's like the funneler of all things good for the Patron folks. They don't have it yet, but I'm going to start a Johnny Walker account where you can donate scotch. And yeah, so you guys in the chat out there, look for the jwfundmenow.com thing soon. And they can start throwing money into that, and then everybody that likes scotch can jump on board, and then we'll make sure everybody gets their fair share.
That's going to be kind of a big deal because we've already got, like, I think Joey Cuz had opened up like an 1800 account, and it's kind of messing with our Patron profits. And now if you're going to open up another venue, I'm not sure this is going to work out good. We'll see, but good luck.
There's people out in the chat room that have no idea about the patron Yeah, there's already somebody that's not supporting anybody that's on Patreon. It's an inside joke type deal.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
for 1776. In case anybody don't know, if you hear us say Patron, it's not Patreon, it's Patron, the tequila. And Pop's Quest started. He did a spoof video because there's all these videos about these people having a Patreon account and wanting you to donate $1 a month, $2 a month, whatever it was. And Pop's Quest did a video claiming he's starting his Patron account, the tequila. And he actually had a bottle of tequila, not Patreon, Patron. And a couple of us did our own little spoof on it. And then Pop's Quest did he's having a contest and wanting people to start their Patron account. It's all a joke. There's no money involved. We're not asking for donations. It's all a freaking joke.
I think he understood my mangled English, and he took it as I said Patreon. I said patron, but I meant to say Patron. I have trouble speaking a lot. If you've watched many of my videos, you guys have probably noticed that. But yeah, that's probably some on me. So yeah, it's the Patron.
Survival Ass. Survival Ass, what was a Patreon? It's some kind of account you can set up where people can do like a monthly. You set up, I guess, with your checking account or PayPal or whatever it is, and it drops $1 in account every month or whatever. And so these big channels are losing thousands of dollars or like begging people for money. We have never been on that level. Well, I don't know. Big Meat Sunday SoCal there. He might be. I don't know. But
shut the fuck up.
But anyway, to compensate for that money lost, they're asking people to do a monthly donation. And that's what we're spoofing on it. It's not, hey, if you want to give money to those people, that's fine. We were just kind of saying as a smaller, medium channels or whatever you want to call it, we're just going to make fun of it.
It feels terribly awkward for me to reach out to people to ask for support. I won't say I've not done it, but it's been especially on only actually on my Big Meat Sunday channel. I've reached out to barbecue companies asking them if they would be interested in allowing me to use their product. I do videos in exchange for the product. And I've been shot down 1,000 times to 1. But, YouTube's a great advertising tool for companies. It's literally free advertising. You give anybody a product and use it. It's great advertising. But I just feels weird to say, hey, give me money and I'll keep feeding you free videos. What?
I have trouble doing that as well. I mean, I've had a couple people that have reached out to me and they sent me a couple things free, but I have trouble like thinking of like if I was to contact somebody and say, hey, I'll do a video or on your stuff or whatever. And then if they did and sent me something, then I would feel like obligated to do like a, good quality or something that made sense or whatever. And me, I really enjoy the freedom to just I want to be able to do whatever I want with whatever it is I'm talking about. And most of my stuff is just, I try to be humorous and whatnot. And I don't think many people would really appreciate a lot of my humor, the product lines. So it would make me uncomfortable.
And how many times, I mean, think about anything that you wanted to look up reviews on. Whenever you go to like the website or a web search and you type in, buck knife review, a specific model, are you more apt to actually sit there and fucking sit there and read a review that somebody typed on it's fucking 5 pages long, or are you going to click a 3-minute video on YouTube?
Oh, definitely the 3-minute video.
I mean, that's and like you said, I mean, that's free advertisement, free product placement, and
Hello, all. Can you hear me?
nope.
What?
All right.
Huh? Huh?
It kept logging in with the wrong account.
How's it going?
I'm trying to get everything set up here. Just having problems toggling between accounts.
Yeah, I seen on this little internal here. It's like off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off.
Yeah, I just logged out of everything and then just logged back in because I couldn't keep it all straight. It's SoCal's fault because he told me to start the other channel.
Yep, I'll take it. How is it my fault that you started a second channel? I thought it was a splendid idea, and now all of a sudden you're like,
It is a splendid idea. I just got to figure out how to do it.
well, you made the first one. Shit, the second one should be easier, right?
Yeah, but when you're logged into multiple accounts, it's a learning curve. I'm getting there.
Yeah. The thing that actually these chats have taught me is it only counts as who you are logged into as Google. If you, like, for instance, if I go to YouTube right now, I'm actually logged into YouTube as WTF SoCal, but I'm still showing in the chat as Big Meat Sunday because I'm logged into Google as that.
All right,
whatever the hell that's worth.
I'm seeing SoCal here in the little tiles down below.
Well, if I type stuff in the chat, it's under Big Meat Sunday's name. It's funny.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm going to change the subject just for real quick. I hadn't seen him again. I know Greg timed him out. I ain't even going to say names because I get attacked I've been attacked time and time again. I guess they hear it and it goes away. All right, let me read this. First Amendment. I'm sorry to bring. I hope I'm not bringing chat down, but maybe this gets back to the Antifa and stuff. But anyway, Congress shall make no law respecting a establishment of religion, prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Sorry. Semicolon, or abridging the freedom of speech, comma, or the press, comma, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble, comma, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So the government cannot shut you up if you want to bitch about it. But if you come on my fucking channel, you have no fucking freedom of speech. This is a dictatorship. I can ban you, cuss you out, do whatever the fuck I want. So don't come on my damn channel telling me that it's your free speech to run your fucking mouth out there. It's not your fucking First Amendment right. Just want to get that off my chest. I better now.
And it's really all about that semicolon.
For grammar, I'm not a grammar Nazi. I barely can speak English, but those commas and semicolons and shit, for somebody that knows what all that means and how it changes the what the meaning of the sentence is, that's the only reason I said that. So,
well, it actually, I wasn't joking. It really does have everything to do with that semicolon. The semicolon, it's kind of like you have a sentence and then you put a semicolon in to expound upon the sentence without it becoming a run-on. So, yeah, I am a grammar Nazi.
TR, did somebody not donate to your Patron account?
no, I got some trolls out there.
Yeah, I was still logging in. I heard Blue's going to set up a Baofeng account.
I need to go grab another refreshment. I am empty. I'll be right back.
Yes. Yeah, I got too much going on. All right. I hate to do that, but damn it. I don't know how many times I've been online. I mean, on these chats, and then people want to get on there and, and then want to cry First Amendment. Oh, it's my First Amendment. You do not have the First Amendment right on YouTube, on Facebook, anything else. If Facebook takes off a post you put, you can't cry First Amendment. You can bitch about Facebook, Zuckerman, whatever, but it's not your damn First Amendment right. Now, you can get out there with a damn sign and walk up and down the road. The government can't do a damn thing about it. You can say whatever the fuck you want. But you can't go on somebody's website, web page, blog site, whatever it is, and then talk shit about it. That's not your First Amendment right.
I got my first troll on my new YouTube channel. It took all but a week. Guys started saying, "Your place ain't off grid." I'm like, "What part of rainwater is connected to the grid?"
You got the internet. You're not off grid. Well, yeah, I'm using it, but if it goes off, so be it.
I did say that. I said, "Oh, so you are off grid. So I guess you drove into town to post this comment on my channel, right?" I did finally get a good equalization cycle done on my batteries today. I'm glad I got that done. Finally sunny enough out to whack them really good with some current and some voltage. How often do you equalize, TR?
I don't have a schedule. And to be honest with you, in the summertime, I could equalize with my solar panels. But for a good 6 months or more, there's no way in hell I could equalize except with AC power. And for the most part, when my batteries get low in the wintertime, they get equalized too many times because that charger runs. The charger that's built into my inverter. It goes through like a long process of slowly building up the voltage and then dropping it off. It'll run for 2 days straight.
Wow.
And
yeah, I went back.
And when it gets done, the batteries are like at 57, 58 volts, somewhere right there.
Yeah, I went back and actually looked at your old video, that unboxing when you got that inverter in. It's on my wish list now.
I actually had a guy comment today on it and said he can't find it, that they have another model and they've changed some stuff. But I mean, hell, that was 3 years ago. So it don't surprise me that you can't get that exact one. And it is way too big. I wanted a 3,000 watt inverter. The only ones I could find were thousands of dollars. And I could not find, it was either like 1,500. I could find some decent price 1,500 watt ones, even 2,000 watt maybe, but anything over that, I wanted more than 2,000 watt or the capability of 2,000 watts or more. And at that time, I couldn't find it. You know, I could find 3,000, 3,500 or whatever, but fuck, it was like 2,500, 3,500 bucks, and I was just like, okay, I can't do that. I ain't gonna do that. And then I found that 6,000 watt for 1,200 bucks with a built-in charger. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought my inverter at Sears. Mistake number one. For I think 600 bucks, and it's only 1,500 watts. I mean, that's back when I didn't know anything about solar. Made all the mistakes everybody makes. I bought the wrong batteries. I bought Optima Blue Top batteries. I bought a Chinese PWM charge controller. I bought like a 30-watt panel and put it on the roof and said, yeah, I'll be good.
Hey, we waste money. When you start doing that, you'll waste money. You buy stuff, you think you're getting the right stuff, and then you end up like, oh, hell, I shouldn't have bought that. I got to upgrade. Okay, Hidden's asking the white flag. Okay, this is just for the people that's maybe been in our circles for several years. This flag was actually given to me by the One-Eyed Patriot when I went and visited him. If anybody knows who the One-Eyed Patriot was, he's passed away now, but he gave me that flag. So and it's just been put up. I had never put it out back behind me. So. Sorry, didn't mean bring you back down.
That's a cool looking flag, but yeah, I do remember that when I'd Patriot. I remember watching videos when you went out and seen him. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You used to have a pirate flag up there or something like a couple years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the pirate flag and the rebel flag. But when I was putting this up, I was like, let me do something different. And I pulled that flag out and stuck that there. It says come and take it. We can't see all of it, but just come and take it on it. Just try to change up things.
Spring cleaning, redecorating.
I gotta do some spring cleaning. That's for damn sure. I may have a woman coming to see me next week, so the bachelor pad's got to be cleaned up.
It's time for a trip to the dump.
Might take a couple of trips, yeah.
A couple trips there and then to the recycling center.
Hey, after this winter out at the cabin, my wife said, yeah, I'm going to come out with the kids with you this weekend. I was like, yeah, or next weekend. I was like, all right, let me get out there. I got to make a trip to the dump first. I packed that pickup truck full.
I know that we haven't even covered this, or because I know a lot of you guys don't watch TV at all. However, I do. I've got a family, and we watch TV. One of my favorite shows, which I just recently found within the last year, and thank God for reruns because I've caught up on almost every single one of them, was Last Man Standing.
They just canceled it.
And they canceled it. And that was ABC. Have any of you guys on the panel here watched that show, or what's your thoughts on that? Just the show in general, not that they took it off the air.
I watched the show. I bought the seasons on Amazon. I got the DVDs. The show is funny as shit. And I'm very disappointed that they canceled it.
So am I.
But I know they canceled it because, well, back to TR's argument. They're a commercial company. They don't like the type of speech they're hearing, so they get rid of it.
But I heard somewhere in the mix that ABC bought the rights from, I think it was Fox, and they still have the rights for a couple years after they cancel it. So no other channel can even pick it up and like keep going with it. I don't know if that's just what I'm seeing and it's being misled, but I don't know. That was a great damn show.
It is a great show.
I seen a scene from it on Facebook. Somebody just posted like the scene. I don't know if it's the scene that caused or whatever, but it was talking about, it was like he was his daughter and he was supposed to do a speech and she was like reading the speech. Oh, you can't say this, you can't say that. It's microaggressions. And, and he just went on like a rant and blah, blah, blah. And, I guess I don't know that was the episode that caused the uproar if he said something somewhere else, but
well, every episode was like that. TR, you already download one, watch on Amazon. It's funny as hell, and in every episode in his office, a different piece of ham radio equipment shows up in the back corner. So you see all the QSL cards up on the wall, and it'll be 856, 740 set. There's always a new ham radio in the corner. But there's not a Baofeng Blue.
Well, they need to get a couple of those in there. But I mean, even the early episodes, whenever that thing first started off, you can't tell me that a channel or a network didn't know what they were getting into. Because, I mean, he was anti-Obama, anti-Clinton. No, I don't want to say but he always he was just putting jabs in there left and right. And then his neighbor, I can't remember his neighbor's name, the black fella. But they freaking ribbed each other back and forth. I mean, it was semi, getting back to...
like the Jeffersons.
Yeah, it was very borderline. Holy crap, I can't believe that they're doing this. But it was still, I mean, it was a good show. And it was a show that my kids could watch. My kids have watched a lot of them. And half the time they have no idea why they're laughing, but maybe it's because me and the wife are laughing, but they'll start laughing. And it's just like, it was almost like, back in the day, what the hell was it? Bob Saget, Full House. You know what I mean? I mean, it was a comedy, but it was, they spiced some political stuff into it. And it was, man, I can't believe that after however many seasons it's been on, and it's still one of the,
it was number 3.
Yeah, on a Friday night. And because they don't agree with it, and their sponsors are like, oh, well, he's talking about this, he's talking about that. They're just shit canning it. It's like,
well, the first seasons were funny, Blue, because they were the winning team and they were running the show. And then once they lost, now the jokes ain't so funny anymore because they're the losing team, and that's why they had to shut that down.
I don't know.
But my wife got me to.
I was just
that makes sense, because, like you say, they could take it, and because they knew they was winning, and so it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. Just like I was talking about, you've had 8 years. It's been longer than that, but 8 years of all this little victories and everything going left, and we didn't realize how bad it had gone left and how bad it had gotten. We knew it was getting bad. We didn't realize how bad it was because they really wasn't showing their true stripes. And then when they lost, they all lost their fucking mind and were going ape shit. I don't know.
Yeah, and they still are. It's like, you see, Frank Ide said SNL is disgusting. That show is, I haven't been able to watch it for many years anyway, but I've seen little clips from it, and it is just, it's horrible now. It's like, and that's a good example of how everybody's lost their minds the way their skits go. And the thing is, what's so bizarre about it is their skits are just like the real life stuff of what people are doing out there in the media and stuff. It's nuts. But I hadn't seen that show you guys are talking about. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, I think it's on there. I'll check that real quick.
The keyword would be on there for now.
Right. They're probably already in the works of getting rid of it.
All right, sorry. And where'd it go now? What are we talking about now?
Nothing.
How about
Blue's new.
chicken enchiladas?
All right.
What the fuck?
I took my mother-in-law out for Mother's Day dinner tonight. So I got back late.
Wow. Even that Last Man Standing Series 1, which, Craig, I don't even know when that got launched, but they're still, even on Amazon Prime, they're still charging $3 an episode to watch it.
Worth every penny.
Oh, it's absolutely worth every penny, but I can't believe that long ago. It's still, I mean, Christ, I would have thought that would have been, add to your free watch list.
I got my three favorite television series. Of course, it was Married with Children in the 80s. That was the best. Boston Legal was funny as shit. And then Last Man Standing. And then, of course, TR Preppers chats.
They can be entertaining at times.
So I broke down and bought one of those uppers that you got. So that should be arriving on the front step tomorrow. I was hoping it was going to get here Saturday.
Are you building another one?
Yeah, I got a lonely, empty lower in the safe that's been there a year and just never pulled the trigger on an upper for it. I got a bolt carrier and a charging handle for it, and just kept putting it back in the back burner of projects. And then TR did that video, and I said, that's a pretty good price. And they actually had a upper without a charging handle or bolt carrier group, $169, stainless steel, shipped. I was like, all right, you can't beat that. Even if it sucks, it's still good.
That's a great price.
No, I won't say it's a full bull barrel. I don't know what's considered a bull barrel, but it's pretty much a bull. It's like an H-bar barrel. I mean, it's a thick barrel all the way to the end. It's pretty nice. It was nicer than I thought it would be. I've only shot it one time, but anyway. I did the video.
Did you shoot that chicken?
No, I'm never shooting my roosters. You gotta have them for reproduction.
What?
And he's the nicest one I've had yet. I know I've had 2 roosters. I almost had 3, but I think 2.
Does he just hide?
My first one, Charlie, he was a.
Does he just hide Does he just hide someplace waiting for you to break that camera out and start carrying on?
Videos right in front of the chicken coop.
He sees that camera. That's it. He's like, all right, wait for it. Wait for the red light. All right, there's the opener. Start carrying on.
Yeah, sometimes his timing's real good. And as I'm looking at the camera, I can see him. And you can tell when the rooster's about to crow. That's why sometimes you'll see me pause and then he crows, Sometimes I don't catch it right, but every once in a while I can see him, start strutting up. And I'm like, okay, here it comes.
Well, I got a couple of videos done this weekend, so I feel like I'm caught up now.
I don't remember what that feeling feels like.
Yeah, sometimes I get into little damn, I can't think of what I want to say. But anyway, just little periods where I just don't feel like doing videos, or I just don't feel like I have anything good to say or talk about, and I'll have a lull. There you go. I'll have a lull, and then I'll kind of get reinvigorated and start putting out one every couple of days or something like that.
I'll tell you, as what am I coming up on? 8 years on YouTube, 7, 8 years, something like that. Don't ever do what I'm doing. Don't stop making videos, because the longer you put it off, the easier it gets, and the more ideas you come across and thoughts go through your head, the easier it is to say, nah, that's not interesting, or nah, I don't feel like it, or I can wait till next week. It gets easier and easier and easier, and nothing sounds appetizing. And it's just a train wreck. At this point, I could literally just close all my channels down and be fine with it, but I don't want to do that yet.
Yeah,
I know I'm going to be slowing down quite a bit just because I've started reloading and it's just taking up a whole lot of time. And so it's like all I can think about if I've got something now to load, that's like my priority. I don't know. I'm addicted. And so it's kind of taken over a little bit for the videos. A lot of times I just make videos because I'm bored, and so I'm probably going to slow down quite a bit here the next while.
And maybe like egotistical, or maybe ideological, but the main driver behind the videos that I do, not only, above and beyond the sharing aspect, is the communication and the back and forth between the commenting and the video itself. It's just fun to be able to throw ideas out and then have people respond to them. That's like the hugest driving force I ever had. And I've forgotten what it's like. I guess I don't know. Don't lose that, people. Don't become me.
Don't lose the video passion.
That's like
I don't know how it works with you guys, and it may just because I got an Android and maybe because it's a Google phone. Settings I done years ago, I don't know, but I know anytime somebody comments on my video, my phone beeps and I can pull it up. I don't care if it's a video from 4 years ago. Just like today, I commented on a video I made 4 years ago. I made like a couple of replies. Within minutes, I was sitting at work, the phone, I heard a little beep. Look, okay. Oh, somebody commented on my inverter, that 6,000 watt inverter. So I responded. A 4-year-old video or 3-year-old video, and I just always try to reply. And like you say, that interaction, and people appreciate it. They commented on a 4-year-old freaking video, and within 10 minutes, I replied back to them.
I reply to every comment I get, even the trolls. Then I block them.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine goes off too, but I agree with SoCal. That's probably the driving force for me making videos as well. Is just I know when I make one, there's going to be at least a few people, like regular people, that get on and comment and have something to say about it and whatnot. And the biggest factor that there's ever been with it is just that interaction, and I really do enjoy that. I would hate to lose that completely. Like when I said I'm going to slow down, I'm not going to stop, like weeks at a time or anything. I'm not going to be doing stuff like I'm off 4 days a week, and I was putting out on those 4 days, I was putting out sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. I'm just not going to be doing that. It's going to be over the weekend, I'll probably put out a couple or something, but I'll still want that interaction because it's very gratifying.
Yeah, definitely. And it's kind of funny just because I have like 2 very opposite channels. I have my cooking channel where, the majority of those individuals are millennial, just shit hooks that have no idea what I'm actually doing. There's a majority of viewers that are really into barbecue and highly opinionated, and then there's the food Nazis, who are much like the safety Nazis in the gun community, who is like, oh my God, you touch the raw chicken and then touch the salt and then you touch the chicken and then you touch the salt, your family's going to die. And it's like the same exact thing as the oh, you didn't chamber check it before the video, you're going to shoot your entire audience with the thing, you're just a danger to yourself and others.
Yeah, I could see where even that would
they
be
don't see-
fun in itself. That's one thing I don't get, and I'm not asking for it. I don't get a lot of trolls, but at least it's something, to go back and forth on stuff. I was thinking, like when TR talked about his phone going off, I mean, mine will do that when I get a comment or whatever, and it'll be, most of my trolls are like, they'll pick out a video I did 4 years ago and grab like one little nitpicking detail and like, oh, blah 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 blah, and it's that's kind of irritates me. Like, I'll reach over just to grab my phone and unlock it, and to see that, it's like, you got to be kidding me, on a video that I did, like one of my first ones or something.
I like the guys that come back and say, well, you left something out of the video, you need to add it. That's not how this works, people. video's got 100,000 views, 10,000 likes, 2 dislikes, you make 3. Yeah, I'm gonna delete it and add that one thing to the video because you put it in the comment section.
Yeah,
I've actually
YouTube won't even.
Never got one. Well, I've got one troll. I've got one troll that every video I put out, I get a thumbs down. But
that's how you know you're making it. That's how you know you're making it on YouTube, when you have religious trolls.
No, but I've only got one. There, I don't know. Maybe TR knows, but there's sometimes that we've gotten into, like, the trolls start attacking the chats that we're having here. I'm like, all right, come on over, sub to me and do this. I don't give a shit. And
maybe it's TR subbing it down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
My stuff just sucks that bad that they're not wasting their time.
Hey, Nick Hops is in the audience. What's up there, Mr. Muscles? It's the Terminator. No, but yeah, you've made it on YouTube when you start getting a religious following of trolls. And it's hard sorting them out, but it's also kind of fun. And like Combs was saying, as soon as people start slamming your content with just ridiculous slander and just idiotic, just blather, it's just super easy to make a response and block them. And it is key that you block them, because if you shit talk them, they can destroy your channel. Have you guys know what click bombing is?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. What's that?
Yes. I'll say, so click bombing is if you do monetize your channel, they'll just spend all day clicking on your ads, and Google will revoke your monetization based on the fact that you're, as far as Google's concerned, you're paying this individual under the table to click on your ads, so you get more money at the end of the month.
No shit.
You'll just yank it.
I'm paying somebody a penny to make 5?
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
Now, I average anywhere from 2 to 5 dislikes on my videos, so I think I built up a following of haters, and now I have a new hater on the new channel, and it's barely a week old. So
that was me.
I blocked that guy.
Oh, that's why I can't see any of your videos again. Damn it! I'll open up a new channel.
I only got 4 videos in a new channel, and he left these nasty comments in each one of the videos. In the first one, I just responded, real nice, say, "Oh, sorry about the misunderstanding. I'll make a note of it. We'll try to work on it in the next video." And I see the next comment, and finally, I'm like, "Dude, what is your problem? Are you blowing through a fifth of booze someplace and pissed off at the world? Why?" It's a channel about rainwater. It's about as non-political as you can get.
Why are you not letting it go back to the earth? You're a selfish bastard.
Well, when I'm done drinking it, I'll put it back in the earth via the septic. Yeah, that was he was saying that because I have a septic system at the cabin, I can't say it's off grid.
What?
What are you supposed to do? Just put it in a hole? Well, I guess that's
Well,
technically a septic system, but
he said septic systems are poison. He has a bucket where a dry toilet with a bucket, a composting toilet. And I'm like, so you shit in a bag.
that's great. That smells awesome, especially summertime when it's like 98% humidity and 106 degrees outside.
Lucky I read fucking orders that's what they do. They fucking shit in a bucket because they went off grid because they don't pay their water and they don't pay their electric. They shit in a bucket and then dump it in the toilet. So whenever the house gets condemned, there's like fucking a 4-foot mound of human shit coming out of the goddamn toilet. Is that what they want you to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna live with the septic tank. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Solids and liquids in, water goes out into the leach field, and the grass gets green. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a septic tank, so I consider that off grid.
See, and I live out my fucking house. If you guys were to ever Google map me, like if I were to give you my address or TR, you have it. I don't know who all has it here. Type in my address, Google map where I'm at. I am in the middle of fucking nowhere, but yet I've got a sewer system. And it was forced down our throats that we either get on this sewer system, or if you opted not to get on the sewer system, then the township, whoever they paid to check your septic system and stuff, they have to come out and inspect it, and they'd either pass you or fail you. And there's no, as far as I know, at least in the area that I'm in, there wasn't a single fucking person that was able to pass the inspection. So they forced us to get onto the sewer system. I'm like, I live in the fucking woods. Why the fuck do I need a septic system? If I want to, I'm going to go out where a tree blew over, and I'm going to prop my ass over top of that goddamn tree, and I'm going to take a shit right there. I mean, it's just, that's how far in the woods I am. And
What'd they do to your old septic? Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there. But what they did was whenever they forced me to do it, I had to pay a septic company to come in, or I call them a turd hearse, the big trucks that suck the septic tanks out. We called the turd hearse. It pulled up. It sucked all the liquid, everything out. They sucked it pretty much damn near dry. They left, and then the person that I had to pay to dig a ditch from where the septic connected, they diverted it, and then it runs into the sewer. That guy brought in, I don't know, it wasn't a lot of sand, but basically they had to fill my septic tank up with sand, reseal it, and it's still there.
So they wrecked your septic tank so you couldn't go back to it without them knowing.
Right.
Bastards.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you, I fought this. I fought it and fought it and fought it. And it's just like everything else. You're going up against a municipality who has money to fucking sue you. And you either pay the $1,000 for the connection and the $1,000 for the piping and all that shit, or you spend fucking $10,000 to try to fucking fight them. And it's like, I mean, and that's what's wrong with the world is money rules and not common sense. If you got it, you're good.
It's scary stuff. I live about 5 miles outside of my city limits, and they keep threatening every few years to incorporate it into the city limits, and I'm afraid something like that's going to happen here. I've got a septic system as well, and I know the way they charge for their sewer system in the city limits is crazy. They charge you for your water that comes in. They also charge you for the water that goes out. It's insane.
Well, they were going to do that with ours as well. They were going to run the sewer right along with a new water line, and they were going to force you to also connect to a water line unless you could prove, like through testing, that your well water was good. And somehow, I don't know how that happened, but the water part got kiboshed. I don't think that the water system that they have for the tiny, I mean, God, the municipality that we're hooked into out here in the fucking sticks is less than a half of a mile square block is the municipality that we were forced to hook into for the sewer system. And I'm thinking the only reason that we were forced into it was because they didn't have enough residents in that municipality for the upkeep of their own. So they branched out. And that's the only, it's not logical, but that's the only logical explanation that I can see, is that they needed to add X amount of customers to the pre-existing lines just to upkeep the little municipality.
TR or Blue, I'd pop that tank open and start pulling that sand out. Put that system back online with a gate valve. Switch back over to your septic. Call it good.
But the thing is, I will still have to pay the monthly fee until I have an inspector come out and inspect it. Because I whenever this whole thing first started was whenever I was going through my divorce, and I had zero money. Christ, I had less than zero money. But and that's what they did. They wanted the hookup fees. They wanted this. They wanted that. And I just fucking refused. I wasn't going to do it. They still, because they wouldn't pass my septic system, they charged me every month like I was hooked up to it. And Christ, that went on for, oh man, it was close to a year. So I'm going to say just 10 months at $47, because that's what it was whenever they first came out, was their monthly fee of $47. So I owed $470 on the back sewer or septic or sewage system that I didn't use, I wasn't connected to, plus $1,000 for the connection fee, plus it was roughly $1,500 to pay somebody to come in to hook me up to the connection. It was like, you talk about getting fucked. That was like no lie or nothing. That was, I think they found an old rubber in the septic tank and fucking used it against me.
You will use our shit and you will like it.
Well, I'm pretty far up the mountain. I don't think I have to worry about that for a while. I'm sure it's coming, but hell, we saw our first police officer up there about 2 weeks ago. First time in like 10 years.
You were saying that.
You guys throw rocks and shit?
Virginia. No, that chapter they don't have body cameras. That chapter ain't ending well, and I'm not from there, so it's going to end worse for me.
They threw on their masks and started throwing Molotov cocktails at the one cop they have in fucking 30 miles.
You know, what's the old joke out in West Virginia from the sheriff? Found that boy shot in the head 3 times. Worst case of suicide he ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
Muscle reflex.
Well, I caught a lot of shit one time because I got called to a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Guy, I mean, without a doubt, guy shot himself in the head with a 32.
Brilliant.
I get there. He's still fucking breathing. I fucking cuff him. I don't give a fuck. Everybody's like looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, he's still fucking breathing. I was like, and he shot himself in the head. I'm cuffing him.
Well, it's a felony. It's murder.
Yeah, it was.
Did he die?
Oh, yeah. Well, eventually. So this just, I showed this to TR and Rich earlier. I made my first gold purchase.
All
Look
right.
at that little tiny
Good job. Nice.
4 grams. And if anybody doesn't know what a gram of gold looks like, I mean, literally, if you were to take your pinky finger and remove your nail off your pinky finger, that's about a gram of gold.
All right, you might want to back out with that blue in case your audio cut out. There's my first purchase, 4 grams.
Those are that's not actually gold. Those are microchips that aliens beam down like stuff into your brain with. They can track your movement, and I've seen those.
That is exactly my thought. Whenever I pulled these open, I'm like, holy Christ, that looks like a little tiny chip that goes onto a computer. That's all the bigger they are. And that right there was just under $200. And I was like, holy fuck.
Hey, AppMex is a good company. That's where I get my metal.
Yeah, they seem to have the best the best spot prices. And the bad part was whenever I bought this, I'd been watching it for a couple weeks, and I was like, I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to pull the trigger. And the gold price stayed within, 30 cents to $1. It's like, boom, boom, boom. I made the purchase. Shit you not, 4 days later, bam, it fucking not crashed, but it went down like $4 or, 15. Well, was it 4? I think it was only $4, but still, I was like, God damn it. That's just my luck. I mean, that is my luck.
Sounds like my 401k. If I pick a stock, you can guarantee it's going to crash.
Yeah, I can relate to that. And anything I pick, I got so frustrated. I've got one 401k that I had where I'd left the company I worked for and went and worked for another company briefly. And so I had a 401k left over from that. And then I went back and worked for them. And the stocks I'd picked, everything was just, the ball was dropping out. And I just called them up and got in some kind of like bonds or whatever that it couldn't go below what I had invested in it. I was too sick of losing. But it was just a little bit of money. It didn't really matter that much.
Yeah, I'm not big in the gold, but I do like buying the Silver Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot, but I'll be guessing with what's in. I've got like right around $1,000 in gold and silver now, and that's not a lot, but for me, I mean, Christ, that's a lot.
Well, it depends on why you're buying it. If you're buying it as an investment, you plan on selling it, then I think gold's a good thing to buy. I buy silver because I think it's going to become the money. So if I'm pulling my silver out, it's because paper isn't used anymore.
Silver is a lot more volatile than gold anyway, just because it's lower price and it's easier to get rid of or buy for that matter. And it tends to go up in value as a ratio gold to silver. It's supposed to be about 20 to 1, but it's like way far from that. I think during the about 2009, silver was like $50 or something like that. Maybe it was 2010.
Yeah, that's right. That's right around when that's when I started buying silver, right at the peak, about $46 an ounce. Hey, this would be a good idea to start buying this stuff.
Yeah, and the bottom
down it went.
The bonus of silver is they use it, well, I don't know, gold, they use gold for industry as well, but silver is a lot more prevalent in industry as well. But silver, honestly, at today's gold prices, silver should be, $60 an ounce? But it's just so disconnected. It doesn't make sense. But then on the other side of the coin, gold is really highly inflated just because there's so many. I sound like Rosie, right? There's so many currencies. That's the word I'm looking for. That are attached to it, and they're so inflated that they almost have to be where they are. Just silver should be a lot more expensive right now, but it's just not.
Yeah, right now I'm looking at the prices. Gold is at per ounce $12.31.55. Silver's under $17 still. It's still at $16.57.
Jesus, Blue, you're depressing me. I logged into AppMex where you click on your holdings tab. Yeah, I'm down.
Redneck Prepper says he invests in aluminum cans. You have to pay for those cans in advance, though. You know that, right, Tony?
I'm not sure on aluminum cans. I think we can still turn in aluminum cans, but I know, is it ferrous metals or non-ferrous? Whatever, copper, aluminum, shit like it is. You got to call and get non-ferrous. Okay, you got to call and get like a temporary permit just to scrap that shit. Now, I think you can make. I think you can still do cans. Maybe it's just copper and some others because people got to ripping out heat pumps out of houses, you know, and taking them to the scrap metal place. So they come up with a little, I don't even know it's a law, but a, you know, permit thing to try to curb that.
Well, man, it was like within the last 10 years, what catalytic converters, we would have fucking car lots just fucking demolished. People go in there with the sawzall and cut out the catalytic converters so they go turn them in for scrap. I don't know what the hell's in those that's worth so much, but
Platinum.
Platinum.
Okay.
They should be able to find a different metal that reacts with the gases that come out of an exhaust pipe. Really, why choose platinum?
Well, right now, platinum is at $930.50 per ounce.
Yeah, but here a few years ago, actually, platinum was like way beyond gold. I mean, it was up like $2,000 an ounce or some shit like that.
Holy crap.
Yeah, platinum is actually more, I mean, yeah, like Tiara was saying, it used to be even more rare metal. It was more expensive. It's always been more exotic than gold.
There was something. Let me. No, I can't. It's usually on my ticker that I watch for like gold and silver prices. Like it lists platinum, palladium, and there's a couple other ones. But I thought there was something that was higher than gold.
Yeah, it's called unobtainium.
That's it. that's from the planet. What planet's that from?
I don't know, Avatar movie. I don't know.
That's it.
Avatar planet.
Yeah.
Unobtainium is expensive. They build race cars and shit out of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And black helicopters.
Nobody's hero person out there. Question to everyone: do you think they will confiscate precious metals, gold, silver? It's been done before. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't say.
I think they
possible.
will.
Yeah. When well, I started buying gold before the crash in 2007, back when it was like triple digits instead of quadruple digits. Quadruple? No, 4 digits, 4 of them. The way they tracked your gold was if you bought investment quality gold, like bullion or like the things that Blues was showing, where it's like mint or minted for investment, that was tracked. But if you bought junk gold that wasn't pure 100 or 99.9% pure, it wasn't considered investment grade, and they never tracked it. So I used to buy like $20 gold or Liberty bells or eagles. They weren't ever considered. I mean, that was what people spent as money in, you know, the 1800s. So it didn't qualify as investment grade gold. I think that's changed now, but it may go back. Let's see what Trump does, but that's definitely the thought. Also, like on the silver thing, you can buy, you can specifically buy old gold, or pardon me, silver coins, quarters, dimes. It's just junk silver. You can get a sack of, or you used to be able to buy a sack, a huge, like 20-pound sack of coins for like $500, paying more than their monetary value. But
That's
it's
the only
silver that you're paying for.
That's not the only silver I have. That's most of the silver I have is just old pre-1964 quarters.
Yeah, it's junk silver, but it's still silver. Not all silver, but it's silver.
Yeah, I think they're only the pre-64, what, like 90% silver or something like that. I don't know.
I know the gold coins. Yeah, they're like 90% pure.
And just if you were wondering, unobtainium, it's at 20 million per kilogram.
That's about right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's from the planet Pandoran.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a kick-ass movie. That was a good movie.
You see, if planet Earth hadn't, you know, invaded and fucked up all their stuff, it would be way cheaper now. But there's only like 2 guys mining it now. They got sent back into the Stone Age, so they're using like the equivalent of an Avatar donkey and carts made of wood. So it's pricey. It's hard to get at.
What other chat can you go on that has so much good information and then we just kind of veer off onto this type of shit?
Okay, too much seriousness. Let's crash and burn.
Yeah, we usually get way off topic near the end of it. Makes it easier to just taper off in the end.
Was there a topic to begin with?
No.
Nope.
There you go. It's a free-for-all.
I keep hearing those beer cans open up, but I don't have any beer.
Yeah.
It's a school night.
No, it's TR. He keeps cracking them.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. Not that it would matter. Yeah,
I'm on duty for that.
I actually did try to do structured chats and have a few subjects that we wanted to cover and all that when I first started doing this, because that was the kind of chats I was used to being on, other people's chats, and we kept getting so off topic that I and trying to do research on the subject to be knowledgeable of it and all, it was just way too much work and have a life too. And I just, screw it. We're just going to open the chat up. Somebody wants to talk about something, we'll talk about it. And if somebody in the audience wants to talk about something, we'll talk about that. I don't care. We can talk about guns. We can talk about horses. We can talk about the economy. There is no rules.
Did you?
And it seems to go smoother that way.
Did you get the flux capacitor that you ordered?
Not yet.
I think they're out.
I am actually expecting. I'm supposed to be here Tuesday. Some more magazines from KCI, the Korean. It's an American company, supposedly. Remember, anyhow, or at least a distributor making Korean polymer magazines, and they're supposed to send me some AK-47 and AR-15 magazines. Well, not supposed to. I got the UPS notice they're coming. I'm hoping they'll get here Tuesday. If they get here Tuesday, I can do a video Tuesday.
Are those steel mags?
Nah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm thinking they're polymer, but then again, I don't know. Yeah, they make a Glock reproduction magazines that are identical to a Glock. They're the ones that sent me that 50-round drum for the Glock, which it was polymer. But the Glock mags that they make, I mean, the regular standard, like fun sticks, 17-round, 19-round, all that, they're steel mags with a polymer liner. I mean, they are identical. You cannot tell the difference, other than not saying Glock on them, and they work just as good.
How much did that you probably said in your video, I don't recall, but how much did that 50-round steel drum weigh loaded?
I should have put it on scale. I have no idea. It's pretty heavy. Well, I mean, it's the magazine itself don't weigh that much, but I mean, it's heavier than a normal mag, of course. And then whatever a 50-round mag, I mean, a 50-round box of bullets weighs. I mean, yeah, it's heavy. It was heavy. You could tell it was there, no doubt.
Your shoulders tired?
My trigger finger got tired. I mean, holding it up wasn't a problem. My finger trigger got tired. And every magazine, by about 40 rounds, I had to switch to my middle finger because this finger just quit working.
I noticed that at prepper stock. At prepper stock. I'm not used to. My entire life, I'm not old enough to have shot anything but 10-round magazines because I just didn't really get into firearms till after the year 2000. I mean, I had some, but it wasn't like a passion. And going out there and having to load like multiple 30-round and 20-round magazines, I was worn the hell out. And it was funny because I go and shoot. I get out there on the line and I'd shoot like 8 or 9 rounds and I'd stop and like look at the bolt that's still closed. Like, why did I just stop? There's like a full-on magazine here that's got like at least 20 rounds left in it, and I keep shooting. It's just like literally at this point a habit to quit shooting after 10 rounds just because I don't know any better. It's just bizarre. And then seeing the suppressors, oh man, I can't wait to go do that again.
Your finger got tired. Your finger got tired from all that rapid succession pulling, didn't it?
Yeah, it was weird. I came home, my whole hand was like all cramped up and stuff.
It felt like America.
Fuck yeah.
I know that every chat we end up going back to fucking Farmageddon, but damn, that was a great time.
Hell yeah, it was. Oh man, I'd recommend it for everybody, but it's a shame it got canceled, so whatever. Live and learn.
Mm-hmm.
I hear Blue's holding it next year up at his farm.
Yeah. That got scrapped whenever me and a couple other buddies blew up the dryer, so I don't think they'd be able to handle us.
I'd do it if I had the land, but I don't have the land for it. I only got 3 acres.
And if you think about it, where the hell else all day long can you get good food, good friends, great shooting, a great course, end it with a forest fire, and then more drinking? That doesn't happen anywhere.
And you had, what, a 7-hour drive home after that?
Oh, shit. No, mine was like 13 altogether. Oh, no, not 13. It was like right between 11 and 12. And that was fucking hammer down. Because like the game of life, you spend the 10, you have to fucking pay $50 or $10 for your speeding ticket, unless you're the cop. I was hammered down.
Yeah, it's a long haul for you.
It would have been about a 37-hour drive for me.
Well, challenge yourself next year.
I know, I should. Let's hop in the truck and get her done. I'm
take-
not.
Take it, we'll talk about almost a week to get there and a week to get back.
Yeah. I
3
think
weeks.
I'll instead just hop on AmericanAirlines.com and do what I did last year.
Burn up 3 weeks of vacation for a 4-day event.
See, I cost effectiveness. Literally, whenever I left, I think I stopped 3 times on the way down and 3 times on the way back to fill up. But my tank was still at the halfway point. It was more that I just needed to get out of the car and stand up. And so my like 90, let's just say $100 down, $100 back. It was $200. I don't think I can get a flight for that. And I'm not, well, fuck, I'm not getting in a plane anyway. So especially after watching Sully, fuck that.
So, Cal, did you take any guns with you on the flight, or did you just lock it up?
Yeah, I took 2 AR-style rifles and 2 handguns, all in the same case, and it really wasn't a problem. Leaving Orange County where I left, they were just. I walked up to the ticket counter. It's a funny story. I know I've told it in the past, but there's a very libtard-looking lady directly in front of me in the line, and then there's several ticket agents kind of down the line, and the libtard finished with her customers and then kind of sticks her head down. She's doing something on a keyboard, and meanwhile I see this like hand go up and say next in line, and I look over and it's this Ted Nugent looking chick like big Farrah Fawcett hair, and I'm dragging this Pelican case, big one, and I drag it over to her. She's like, that's a nice case, you got rifles in there? I'm like, yeah, I have a couple, and a couple handguns. She's like, those are great cases, I got one too. And I was like, yes. Thank God I didn't have to deal with the libtard. So getting out of Orange County was cool, but getting out of South Carolina was a bitch. The TSA there operates completely different. Everybody should know it that you're not allowed to give access to anybody without you being present to any firearm that you own. And the TSA had no part of me being present. And they basically threatened me, you're not going to fly unless you give us your combination to your gun case. Take it or leave it. And so they wouldn't let me on the plane unless I let them in my gun case without me present. So they were kind of dicks about it, but yeah, getting home was a little uglier than it was getting out there.
Did you file a complaint on that? Because I mean, if that's not supposed to happen, then fuck them. That's like your fucking Barney Rubble cop that thinks that he has way more power than what he needs. Those people need to shut the fuck down. Not the whole organization, but that fucking person doesn't need to be there.
Well, I've heard it that most of the country works that way. That I guess Orange County is different because they're well, California is different because they're probably just basically terrified of firearms. So, they want you present. So if it does blow up, at least you get taken out with them or something. I don't know, but
you know how to handle it.
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing. I expected the exact opposite, but I survived the trip. All my guns got back, and I'll do it again next year.
Did you get a chance to show off your bullet button?
He removed it.
That was the first thing I did when I got there. Everybody's shooting, and they're like, come on, man, grab a gun. I'm like, I gotta take this thing apart so you guys don't make fun of me.
He fucking hid his little magazines underneath his pillowcase and stuff. I mean, it was like he's like hiding shit, and he pulls out like a 30 rounder. Like he's like, look what I got. Yeah, he just bought it.
Who's this guy? He's from overseas. He came in from California.
Yeah, I'm from that other country.
Yeah, the reason it was so easy to get the guns out of California was California's like, fuck yes, we're getting rid of these sons of bitch and things. Get them on the plane, take them south.
Yeah, maybe we won't bring them back.
And then when you tried to bring them back, that's when you had all the problems.
Even arriving in California was super easy. You know, I wait because it comes down on a special. Since that guy shut up that airport in Florida, they kind of changed it a bit. So you have to like go to the special area to collect your baggage that's oversized or whatever. And yeah, I was like, hey, I'm waiting for a Pelican case. He's like, oh, what, you got guns? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, okay, cool, man. Just, probably be 5 minutes. Didn't even care.
I came back from Italy with a shotgun that I bought there. And, it's kind of involved, but it went pretty smooth at the airport in Rome. And they actually bring a cop out to meet you on the other side of the security checkpoint. So I get the case, all the paperwork, and the lady's like, well, you got to put that through the x-ray machine. Really? You just looked in this box. What do you think is going to show up when you put it through the x-ray machine? The lady behind the machine didn't even notice a shotgun going through the machine. I mean, this is like a controlled test. It's the one time you're actually probably going to see one go through the x-ray machine, and she wasn't even looking at the screen.
Bat Billy just asked me if I used a combination lock or can you use a key lock. I think you can use either when you fly. Using combination locks is just easier, at least for me, because I don't have to retain keys or the fear of losing a key. You'll always know the combination if you make it something obvious to yourself that isn't obvious to everybody else. But I don't know if there's a rule against that or not. I did quite a bit of research on flying with firearms, and it is suggested that you do not use a TSA approved lock. So therefore, nobody can take your stuff from you, because anybody can go get TSA keys. You can probably buy them on Amazon or eBay all day long. So I went with a combo lock.
It's good to know. If I ever travel much, very far away, I'll probably end up doing the flying thing. So it's good to know that it's, at least doable. That's why I figured you coming out of California and being able to do it, I shouldn't have any trouble.
It's really not that bad. You do have to show, when you go, you have to check them at the ticker counter. You can't just throw it on the conveyor belt and expect it to go vanish. You have to open the case up and show them there's no explosives in there, there's no ammunition in there. So
you can do the guns, but no ammo.
Yeah, you can't keep ammo in the same container as the firearms. So
but you can
typically, magazines and out of the magazine. Well, you can have magazines in the case, but no ammo in the same locked container as the firearm. So, say for instance, a good example. I flew to Baton Rouge January in 2016 and brought a pistol. So I had a small, just like a pistol size Pelican case. The pistol was locked in that. Inside my suitcase, also in the suitcase, was self-defense ammo, like 50 rounds, and 3 magazines, something like that. But the pistol itself is locked out of the environment of the ammunition itself. So that's the way you got it. That's like a rule.
Yeah, I would imagine I'd be paranoid as hell trying to fly with a gun, even though I know you can do it and stuff. But not paranoid like I've done something wrong, but just getting held up, missing a flight or something.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was the whole time. And it's funny. Have you guys ever heard of Tile? Those little tracking devices you can stick on your stuff. These little things that are Bluetooth enabled. I put one inside my gun case as well as one to the outside of my gun case that I slipped through the padlock and then locked it to my case. So even if they ripped it off, I still had one on the inside. And it was kind of fun watching my shit travel around. And from inside the plane, I could actually see it. Like there's an app for your phone. I could see it. It was on the plane, or I could see it. It was over there in the airport, or whatever. It was refreshing to know that my stuff was following me.
But that only works if it's near a phone that somebody has Tile app running, right?
Right. Yeah.
So the baggage handlers must have the Tile app on their phone when they're in their area and it's picking it up.
Or other people in the airport. The Bluetooth signal is actually really strong. Like I said, I could see my bag was within 50 feet of me when I was sitting in the plane at 40,000 feet or 32,000 feet or wherever we were.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Kind of a relief. Thank God.
I wonder if you could feed a Tile to deer during the summer, and then track them with the cell phone in the winter.
Just put it on their collar. Get them a collar. If you feed a deer anything, I bet you it's not going to stay in the deer.
Yeah, you find a tree where they like to rub the felt off, and see if you have a little wire there, and get it hooked up in the antlers. And
don't give them ideas. There'll be people out there doing it.
Give them an iPhone.
Yeah, who wouldn't take a free iPhone? All right, we're getting at the 2-hour mark. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about right quick before we chop this off?
I think we covered everything.
I said you didn't have to end it. I was just going to go quietly into the night.
No, I was about to end it anyway. It's been 2 hours. I try to keep them at 2 hours. All right. Anybody got any outros they want to do?
Just real super quick. I went to my first Second Amendment rally / open carry walk over this last weekend. Took my kids, and as soon as we get there, the first words out of the people that set it up was that there was a bunch of college kids from a college, 50 miles away that were supposed to show up to protest what we were doing. Not a single fucking person showed up. We had our Second Amendment walk, and it's not the town that I'm from. I put the video up on YouTube. It's not the exact town that I'm from. We had to go a little ways to get there, but shit, it was great. It was everything went good, and people were honking some horns, and all in support of the Second Amendment and the Constitution, all that good stuff. So next year, I think I will actually let my kids carry guns. They're little 22s, they're little crickets. But it was actually kind of an eye-opener, just super quick. There's a fucking federal rule, that says that if your kid is carrying a gun, even during hunting season or anything else, it's not upheld by the states, but it's a federal thing. They have to have a note on their person, what gun they carry, what model, what make, what serial number, everything else. And they have to carry it on them, even if you're within hand's reach of your own child. If they do not have that note on them, it is a felony. Did not know that. I looked it up, and it is 100% true. Like, you got to be shitting me. But other than that, I got nothing. The external chat, you guys kicked ass. You met a lot of people out there tonight. It was flying by. I missed a lot on the external chat. Sorry about that. Panel, great seeing you as always, and good night.
All right. Anybody else? If not, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I know a lot of people got to go to work tomorrow, and I don't want to drag y'all, keep y'all up all night. And we'll see you later. It was a really good crowd tonight, and I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, TR.
Hey, I
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks.
y'all coming on. I really do.
Yep. Thanks for having us, and sorry I got here late.
Oh, you're fine. I appreciate you guys coming on here. I really do. I do appreciate it. All right. Later, everybody.